Well, I hope nobody else has to go through what I did, but I just ended up busting up my knuckles and, oh man, skinned the crap out of my forearm and stuff, and I had to put so much pressure on the stupid ratchet because it would kept slipping off. The top two bolts were almost impossible to get to. When all was said and done, this is the setup that I had. It's just a 3/8 inch wrench. It's like a 10-inch extension, I think. And then I borrowed this stupid angle adapter. I actually ground off part of this 14mm socket. I don't give you enough room in there. This is what I'm working with here. I had to grind that off, and that's where the bolt is, way back there. And you don't have enough room really between this lip or this edge right here and where the bolt was. You don't have enough room. It's just, there's not enough room to get a socket and everything in there. So I had to use the angle adapter, and it still was a pain. And this is how much I took off of this side. Let's see if I can take this off with the camera being on. These suckers are heavy, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. If I can take it off on camera here. It's just being held on by the studs and the rest of the exhaust system right now. I'm not really sure where it's gonna go. It might just fall on the steering arm down there. It's on there pretty good. I'm gonna have to separate it more. So now it's separated from the actual downpipe. I just had to stick a screwdriver in there and wiggle it back and forth. See if I can grab it by the end here and yard it out. But it got me thinking while I was doing this, how in the heck am I gonna get the other one back in there? But anyway, I'll figure it out. So I spun it about 90 degrees, maybe 180. Well, it's giving me more of a hassle than I thought. So I'm probably just gonna have to drop it down below. It literally looks like somebody shot a bullet. So I don't know if something was in the engine and it shot out the exhaust. I'm gonna see if I can start it with the thermal reactor off and see what happens. Try this again. For a second.
What did you do?
Woo! It doesn't have an exhaust manifold on it. Whee!
Start that car again.
Woo! So today went ahead and finally got the thermal reactor off. The top two bolts were horrendously difficult. A lot more difficult than they should have been. I dug in my garage and found the thermal reactor from an engine that I parted out years ago. It's in a lot better shape than the one I just took off, so I think I'll go ahead and use that. But it's gonna be fun to try to get the new one on. Hopefully it's not as difficult as it was to take the old one off. And then I jacked the back of the car up a little bit and I replaced the fuel filter. I didn't notice anything leaking until I looked towards the front of the car when I was still on the ground, and there was a drip going on, and I inspected it and the fuel hoses at the carburetor were split and squirting gas out. So I get to replace fuel lines. 30 and 40-year-old fuel lines they tend to crack and leak. So hopefully there's nothing else like that needs to be replaced. I know it's a really old car, but I want to get this thing running sooner than later. But hey, it did sputter to life earlier today. Hopefully we can get it actually running decent in a little bit here.